Okay, Islam, y'all.
Peace, Islam.
Islam. We're gonna jump right into it as soon as I find my stuff. Where is it? Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. Islam, greetings. Welcome to Talk to Me Moorish, aka My Brother's Keeper, aka Meet Me at Allah. I'm Sister Zara Bey of CalifaMedia.com and thepurplepaperclip.com. And with me are Brother Abir Chanan L of 43rdbooks.com. That's 43rdbooks.com. And Brother Sarush L of madebysarush.com. And this is our 11th weekly chat discussing Moorish Consortium or the lack thereof through the lens of Moorish science, including astrology, history, and Moorish literature. To those joining us and those who will enjoy this at a later date, again, welcome and gratitude for your interest and attention. All right. I have a passage this week that I found interesting.
Great.
All right. This is, what is this? Just a second. Okay, Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East, or the Red Book, chapter, what is this? 13. All right. Jesus' holy answer to Lamaze. Now, after they had dined, the guests and Jesus all were in a spacious hall in Mary's home. And Lamaze said, "Pray tell us, Jesus, is this the dawn of peace? Have we come forth unto the time when men will war no more? Are you indeed the Prince of Peace that holy men have said would come?" And Jesus said, "Peace reigns today. It is the peace of death. A stagnant pool abides in peace. When waters cease to move, they soon are laden with the seeds of death. Corruption dwells in every drop. The living waters always leap and skip about like lambs in spring. The nations are corrupt. They sleep within the arms of death, and they must be aroused before it is too late. In life, we find antagonists at work. Allah sent me here to stir unto its depths the waters of the sea of life, the sea of life. Peace follows strife. I come to slay this piece of earth. The Prince of Peace must first be the Prince of Strife. The leaven of truth which I have brought to men will stir the demons up, and nations, cities, families will be at peace with themselves. The five that have been dwelling in a home in peace will be divided not, and two shall war against three. The son will stand against his sire, and the mother and daughter will contend. Yea, strife will reign in every home. Then self and greed and doubt will rage into a fever heat. And then, because of me, the earth will be baptized in human blood. But right is king, and when the smoke is cleared away, the nations will learn war no more. The Prince of Peace will come to reign. Behold, the signs of what I say are in the sky, but men can see them not. When men behold a cloud rise in the west, they say a shower of rain will come, and so it does. And when the wind blows from the south, they say the weather will be hot, and so it is. Lo, men can read the signs of earth and sky, but they cannot discern the signs of the holy breath. But you shall know. The storms of wrath shall come. The carnal man will seek a cause to hale you into court and cast you into prison cells. And when these times shall come, let wisdom guide. Do not resent. Resentment makes more strong the wrath of evil men. There is a little sense of justice and of mercy in the vilest men of earth. By taking heed to what you do and say and trusting in the guidance of the holy breath, you may inspire this sense to grow. You thus may make the wrath of men to praise Allah. And Jesus went his way and came unto Bethsaida and taught. Islam. So that's the
Islam.
passage for today. Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah,
Islam, Islam.
obviously the part about, the signs in the sky, man not paying attention, which is why I pay attention. So I turned off the option for people to join because there was a solar eclipse today in Sagittarius on top of Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury in Sagittarius, no filter. So yeah, I'm just not in the mood, I would like peace to reign, so I turned it off. So yeah. So, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and tonight's
I
topic.
agree.
Oh, go ahead. Anybody want to
No,
say
I was
anything?
supposed to say, I agree.
And tonight's topic, we getting into human design, and which is, I looked into it, and I'm gonna respectfully make a request real quick. Sarush, could you like slow up a little bit on the stuff that you've been sending?
Absolutely.
It's like expanding too quickly, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
Right? Which makes sense because the sun is in Sagittarius right now, right? So it's all this expansion going on. But I looked into the human design and I'm just like, oh, this makes sense. This is like astrology, but the descriptions are more exact, right? And just when I thought, I'm like, okay, I got a little handle on this, and then you sent the link about gene keys. And I'm like, oh boy. I'm thinking I got this. It's like, oh, it goes deeper. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him this, just let me catch up real quick. So I like feeling new. I feel very new. Thank you. So yeah.
I mean, it's when I found it, they said like, oh, when did you get this information? I said, I just got it this year. They said, oh, it's going to take you 7 years. Say the experiment takes 7 years to really get a grip on. And I'm
Okay.
like, divide that by seven, like divide my age by seven. And when I look at it, I could go back and see, you know what I'm saying, different things. But it's definitely very extensive studies for the self.
And then I saw that too, where they were talking about it's going to take a while to know what you're looking at, and I get it. It's like, yeah, take your time step by step. But I ain't gonna lie. It kind of clicked just because I'm like, okay, this is the study of self, right? It's like I want to say a codified study of self, right? Because astrology, you can interpret whatever you want. Everybody got their different interpretations, but this is like, nope, based on I Ching and your time of birth and all that stuff. And I really liked it too because it reminds me of the Myers-Briggs test, right? That they give you in the corporate world. And it does the same thing where it tells you all your pathways and your strengths and weaknesses and all that stuff. And but you can cheat on them. You can't cheat on this because it doesn't ask you. Only question it asks you is, your coordinates.
Yeah.
So, but the whole thing about it might take you a while to get it. I don't know. If you coming in fresh and you have no background in astrology, I can see that. But just because you've already been studying yourself through astrology, I'm not saying using astrology with this, but just because you've already been studying yourself, like what you just said, I can look at what this is and go back and look at what I've already seen or learned about myself and see, yup, there, that fits. So yeah. So, and then they slow anyway. So yeah.
Right.
Well, I myself, what was that me making that noise?
I don't know. I'm gonna turn this thing.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, Sarush?
Yes, sir.
I was saying that I appreciate it, bro. Like, keep sending what you got. I understand what Sister Zara was saying, but both of them, you know what I'm saying, made me feel quite fortunate to have run across it. And I also agree with what she said, that it helps having a background in astrology and studying it that way. But it is absolutely awesome. Um, I think the design of just looking at it at first was the first thing that just caught me. Like, it looks so different. How they line it up. Like you see these wheels and things, and it looks like the Sephiroth of the Tree of Life. You see that there, and you see what I'm saying. So it's a lot that I'm looking at. Like, okay, I can see this, and okay, now if I apply the Tree of Life to this, and I can see it's running through certain Sephiroth that I know, which would take it a little bit further. So I was like, okay, well, let me just, like you said, like she said, I'll take my time with it, but I plan to stick with it because it's so powerful. At least I thought it was pretty powerful. And I'm very thankful to for you to bring the Gene Keys and the sister who introduced me to the human design. It was awesome. So much appreciation for that. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
And for those listening, we're talking about human design, and if you want to check it out, follow along. Like, we might be talking about some of the I guess placements. It's mybodygraph.com. My body and graph, like like a plot line graph.com. And you can plug in all your coordinates, and you can see, like, it does look like a tree of life. That's the first thing I thought when I saw it,
Absolutely.
So yeah, and I've been looking it up. I'm like, okay, let me plug in all these people. Oh, that's why we work so well together, because you said the thing about team building, and the whole lever thing. Hey, let's make some teams, right? It's time, right? So yeah, I like it. I'm excited. So yeah.
I think the 64. Go ahead, Sharu.
Go ahead. You got it, bro.
No. I was just saying the 64 pieces, of the I Ching, when they started to spin it, and I thought about the chessboard, and it was like it was a lot of other mathematics that go into it, that you start seeing, like, okay, it's almost like it's a perfect add-on to the other sciences, especially with the
Right.
5%ers. It's a lot more of masonry. It's a lot of other add-ons that I need. You know what I'm saying? That I would desire
Right.
to know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just I'm humbled, appreciative. You know what I'm saying, to have come across it, and the fact that we're talking about it now is great. Because it's worth it. We've definitely come across some things in the past 11 weeks that have
Right.
caused me to grow a lot. You know what I'm saying? And if nothing else, have caused me to see myself in a greater way. If that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway.
It does. It does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we kind of slipped into it. And then looking at this, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, this has been like a really relaxing week. After looking at this graph, it's like, oh, there's really nothing I can do. I thought so. Thank you for the confirmation, right?
Right.
And then trying to remain humble, like, nah, I can't be that clear, that I'm just like accepting what I'm seeing in front of me. Oh, by the time you get around this age, you should be able to accept what you're seeing in front of you. Oh, okay. So yeah, I like it, and just been letting stuff happen.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, it was funny because it's like I think I said it last week, about how I don't worry about the wrong people approaching me, because we were talking about friendship, right? And how you automatically my friend until you prove otherwise, and it that could take a year, that could take a minute, and that's right. It's right there in this thing. It's like, oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
I like that. Encouraging you to just step out and just be open to people. What is it? Oh, the other part was the Gene Keys, and that's
Yes.
for anybody want to follow along. That's genekeys.com. Mine ain't opening up. I don't know what's wrong with it. But yeah, it's genekeys.com/free profile. Yeah. That one I don't know. You might want to wait till after this to go look at that one because
Oh,
that
man,
one is
so
full of
yeah,
breadcrumbs all over the
man,
place. I'm
so is that.
trying not to gift myself the whole thing so you can get all of them. But it's
right.
like, well,
Nah.
hey,
This no.
Saturnalia's coming up, and no, my
Yeah,
thing is I believe in sharing.
those are
So
must reads right there. Those are must reads. Those
so
definitely
now
are
I'm talking
must
about the
reads.
audio stuff because
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie called Fantastic Planet.
Uh-uh.
No.
I think that's what it's called. Let me make sure. It's a French movie. Fantastic. It's like my favorite movie. Planet. Making sure that's it. Yeah, Fantastic Planet. It's a French movie from 1973. It's animated. And it's too weird to explain. You would just have to go look at it. And but the thing that stuck out about it, because it's from 1973, so it's older than I am, and I remember watching it as a child. How one of the main characters, how she was educated, was through headphones, right? Just listening to it, and it was just like all this information was just being the way they showed it was being transmitted to her brain. But I'm like, no, it's just headphones. She's just wearing headphones and listening to audio tapes. I look for, looking back on it from today. She's
Right.
just sitting there listening to audio, having it being fed directly into her brain, which some people respond better to that. Read it, right? But I like the audio part because you can look at your map while he's talking and explaining it to you.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I wanted to get the whole thing because I'm just like, well, I want to know about everybody,
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm gonna spend that kind, it's like I'm gonna have the neighborhood Netflix account like that,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I thought the
that kind of
same
thing.
exact thing.
See there? Hey, why don't we pool it together? Make
I
a
was
new
gonna say
channel.
we could exactly we could pull it.
I'm in.
Yo,
I'm with it. I'm
You know,
with it. I'm with
hey,
it.
that
yo,
see, and look at that, just like that, it got cheap, just like
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
And now
yeah.
just wait for it to go on sale because it's about to happen.
Right.
Just because we talking about it, because I'm just like, this is ill. It's like actual breakdowns because if I can listen to like 4 or 5 different astrologers about what your north node in a certain house and sign mean, and they gonna all give me something similar, but it's just their interpretation. I understand that,
Right.
you
Right.
know, I get that, but this, I like how it doesn't it's so old because it's based on the I Ching. It kind of doesn't leave room for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and you can't cheat
It
at it. I
was
like that part.
Right. So
wild. The
Rushi was
first
about to
person
say
that
something. Yes, please go ahead.
now I was gonna say like when I got the first time I found out about it, it was just like a room or whatever, and it was like do you know your design? And I'm like, nah. So I just went on the site. I was just curious, really,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
put all my info in, came back, and I started telling them like all the different numbers and different lines, gates that I had, and they just started going in like, oh, what? They just started running it down. I'm like, wow, like, that's crazy. So the woman that I was speaking to, she just was like, wait, if like the one gate that I have is the 61. So you got the 61. That means that you know things, but you don't know how you know it, and you get your information from like intuition and spiritual
Yes.
realms and all these
Yes.
different things. And I was like, wow. So she said, oh, you got
That's
this
funny.
gate and this gate and this gate,
Mm.
and she just started running it down, and she just put me all the way into the gene keys. Like, well, it makes sense because this is in your DNA. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, gene keys, this in your DNA. And I was like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. But
Yeah.
it's wild because they study us, that's how I found out about it, was because they, when I say they, it's pretty easy, how
Mm-hmm.
they study
Right.
us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
Indeed.
like, it's
Indeed.
wild. They call it epigenetics or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to say is that we're a product of our environment, and a product of our ancestors, you know. So I was like, yeah, I need to get all the way into that and start digging.
Right.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
feeling
looking at
like
this thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Sister Zara. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. You good. You good.
I'm feeling like when he said that the word downloads. I'm feeling like I was talking to the sister earlier who told me about the human design. And I was like, I'm feeling lately that I'm I'm just getting a lot of downloads. Like stuff is just coming. And you know what I'm saying? It's just coming to me just like in rushes. And it's and all of everything that I've been reading up to this point, especially with her helping out, my own readings, like it's behooving me to slow down and like try to make order of stuff. Because for me, a lot of times I just go until I just conk out. Like just keep this, you know what I'm saying? No, there's no discipline with it. There's just like, I like this. Go with it. Go, run, Forrest, run. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just keep going with it. Until I just like just get tired and then wake up and try to do the same thing again. But it's like behoove me to like try to when I'm feeling something to write it immediately. I don't care what time of day it is. If it's 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, get it out of me. And so I have a record of it. So I can come back. And you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm feeling that download when he said that word. That's what prompted me like to say something. So I don't know if that helps y'all, but I'm just saying that's how I've been feeling as of lately. But anyway,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's law. And yeah, I was gonna say something along those lines. Because as I was looking through it, I'm just like, well, one, it feels a little familiar, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And two, I'm wondering, I'm like, they didn't make this for them. I don't know why. I don't know why, right? And then I'm wondering, like, dang, is why am I getting the feeling that we can, like, if we just really look at it, not even try to like make something of it, just look at it, might be able to unlock like superpowers, and they know it, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
And I was just like, okay, and it's just so dope because it's nothing you can do because it's human design, right? Because you brought it up some weeks ago, Sarush, and I'm just like, oh, this probably that old Osho stuff. Like, oh, they trying to get some money off some rich folks that's looking for some people to tell them what to do because it sounds too technical or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you brought it up again last week, and I'm like, let me just go check this.
Yeah,
Oh no, this ain't at all what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, it's nothing you can do. It's like it's telling you don't listen to yourself, listen to the self, as in your body. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm like, okay, I could do that. I mean, just and this one is like it's telling me the hardest thing to do. What is that? Respond. You want me to sit and wait for something to show up and give me direction? Oh, I looked up everybody's stuff. Don't even sweat it. I'm trying to log in to look at Abir's, but I can't get in. And it was funny you said that they told you had the what is that? You said the 61 gate?
Yeah.
And again, I'm looking at the whole team building thing, and I'm like, oh, look at that. I have the 24 gate, the one right across from yours, and it finishes it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. I'm like, oh, I gotta look what the channel is. I'm like, okay, so why am I picking this up so fast? You know,
and
like
you
the
always
lingo,
say
the
that,
jargon.
You always say
you know
that.
what I mean?
You always say that. You was like, we're Moors. Like, if we look at anything long enough, it's gonna start to click. Like in our DNA, it's gonna come together. Like, okay, I see that. Okay, yeah, okay, that's what it is. Right.
Because I just looked at it. It didn't even take that long because I knew it was gonna happen. You know, like, okay, channels, gates, what is that? Signatures, authorities, profile. I'm just like, oh, okay, let me look at all the what is that? I guess it's the profile. So yeah, and I'm like, okay, let me just slow down because I don't want to be superficial with this because it looks very interesting, you know. Because it's just like this is just making sense too quickly. You know. I'm okay with that, you know. So
But
yeah,
has the last 11 weeks, 11, the number of initiation, has it made
right.
this sense? Has it made sense? Not really. It's like we're the three of us are like transits walking each other's life. Like, hey man, I've been waiting on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it feels. Like, hey man, hey,
Yeah.
And
when
it
you
just happened, huh? Just
right?
let stuff happen.
Yes,
Hey, that's why I was just like, well,
organically, organically.
now we studying this thing where it's telling you to just let stuff happen, depending on if that's in your part of your design, right? And turns out it's like I'm trying, but I can't. And like, well, as far as me and Sarush, like, yep, said like, wait, what is that? That manifesting generator is like, okay. And
Yeah.
not
Which one
self
are
is
you?
frustration. Do you understand? That's like, that is who I am. It's like, oh, okay.
Which one are you, Zara? Which one?
Manifesting generator.
Okay, I'm a generator. I'm a generator as well. And it was just like, yeah, your energy, your feelings are everything. Your emotions. That's what you
Yeah.
said. Your
Yeah.
emotions like literally drive and move things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would just slow down and let them have their way, like don't try to maneuver them. Let them have their full like gamut. As soon as they finish, you're gonna be like crystal clear. Like your eyes gonna be like, what you need to do is like one, two,
Yeah,
three,
it's
like
pretty
count them out.
horrible. I mean, it's nice to have a name to it. I knew that's I was familiar with that concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked about that. Like, why am I feeling this? I think it was like the first show. How like, oh yeah, if it's probably just the moon, let me just let it pass. It might
Right.
just be a couple of hours and I'll be fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's horrible because it's like it's like every time that happens, that's like a Pluto transit, right? That's how it feels to me, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you going through some dark night of the soul for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But when you come out, you're not even the same key person. And it's just, you look back and you're like, I can't, at least with me, I can't
Throw
believe
moon.
I let myself get to that point, that low.
Yeah.
How dare I let myself, I guess it's the pride thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel kind of silly, but I'm just like, well, I get it as I'm going through it. I even know I'm gonna feel silly, but it's just like, well, let me just let myself feel silly. And now looking at this thing, it's like, yeah, you just gotta roll, you gotta sit with it,
Yep.
that kind
And
of thing.
just throw any water sign moon through there, and for 48 hours or so, I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just
And the
can't. It's
moon
like
just went through
everything is
Scorpio.
like hurting
Oh
or
man,
bothering me. You know what I'm saying?
yes, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you, Sarush.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Mr.
thank
What
y'all.
is that? He got that leadership channel. Like, yeah, we gotta let this man talk some more.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, just be, you know, I'm a responder, so I talk after, right? Like
Yes.
it's like, oh, peace. How are you today? You know what I'm saying? Like if nobody
Mm-hmm.
asks me how I am, I'm not gonna tell anybody how I'm doing. If nobody asks,
Right.
So
Right. Right.
it's
Right,
that thing. Not invited, won't go. And I don't feel no kind of way about that. Like I'm good. Like
right. That's how I work. I wait for like people to make requests. Hey, do you make
hmm
wall hangings? I do now.
I do now, exactly.
It's like anything you see on Califa Media's Instagram, it's because somebody asked me to. I'm just like, okay, so oops. I just been like, I give up. I guess it's easy for a Gemini because it's like we kind of, childish and not
Yeah.
really paying
No.
attention,
No. Not a
bouncing through
Gemini.
life.
Not a Gemini.
Just
No.
having fun with laughing at it the whole time.
Not a
Just enjoying
Gemini.
the irony. And it's like, oh wow, I'm supposed to do that. Oh, okay. All right. And then looking at the gene keys, keep it simple. Oh, I could do that. I would prefer to do that, for real.
Right.
And it's working. It's definitely working. Like,
It's
oh,
it's
okay.
like it's like those that have gone on before us. It's almost like they're setting this table, like openly dropping these like breadcrumbs or jewels, like follow me, like pick this up. Okay, now pick this up. I picked this up. And you just go, man, we keep finding all this wonderful stuff. That's what it feels like. It's like all this, that's how I feel in my spirit. Like, just keep finding all these. Why is it speeding up so fast though? Like, why is it?
And it's overwhelming at times.
Yeah, it's like, yo, like, I never knew.
Which is why that's why I brought up the Telegram thing, right?
Right. Okay.
I'm like, we need to get some more heads in on this because mine is starting to hurt. You know?
I think so. But we can't. We couldn't. We had to wait on the Empress of the group to say that. We needed you.
Who is
to
that?
Say,
oh,
it's you.
Oh.
That's you. You call me.
Like, I see two sisters in here. It's like, are you talking about them, right?
Nah. In actuality, I'm not gonna say that, but yeah. I know those two sisters that are waiting out there, that are listening right now. So, yeah, but
welcome y'all.
They good folk.
That's
they're
what's
real
up.
Good folk. Yeah, real good people. But they would die if they thought they had to say something. So I would not die, but I'm just saying they're good. But they're some very blessed. There's some very divine people, and I appreciate them. But sincerely, yeah, you call me here and didn't let me say no, and then Sarush just kind of like, I don't know where
wandered in.
I don't know where he came from, right?
Literally
man,
just wandered in.
I like y'all vibing here, man. Like, what y'all talking about? Like, I don't know, man. We're supposed to be talking about relationships,
right? That's what we talking about. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? And relationships, because when it comes down to this, there's, for me, there's no writing this. There's no like, if you listen to the tape with the guy who said when he came up with the gene keys, like he was like, the history of it, how he came up with it or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You hear him talking about the background of it. It doesn't have like a rhyme or reason to it. But you can't. It'll be difficult to make that into like a novel or a story, because it stretches out so wide. There's so much information that you're looking at, and it can be, to me, I'm not gonna say it's overwhelming. It's just like, I know when I'm reading this right now that I'm gonna have to come back to this several times, and that doesn't bother me. That's how
right.
good it is.
It's
like,
long. It is good. I heard the same. I heard that one too. That's why I was like, how much is the whole set?
Right.
I'll take it, right?
Right.
For real. Because he said there's a book, but I'm just like, I get it, but I like to be able to listen, and I got to keep my hands busy and do something at the same time.
Gemini,
like work on another book.
Gemini.
Yeah. I can't do one thing at a time. I just can't.
And
that's in my design. Yay. So generators are builders, and then manifesting generators are rapid builders.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Because that's why I was like, the respond thing. It's like, I get it, and I see that too. How it is like a lot of stuff that I just decide, I think this will be a good idea because I like it. Nobody asked me to do it. Yeah. And it just sits there until somebody asks me to do something like it. And it's like, I'll do it. I definitely can see. In fact, I'm about to do one. And I don't take it personally. It's like, thank you for that suggestion, and look at that, now they're selling. Okay.
Right.
So just sitting there waiting to respond. Wow. Especially because they saying it's manifester right there. But I like how it's like, because the manifestors, they come up with right ideas, if I understand correctly. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, we get to come up with ideas, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a person who affirms that idea. Because I just put stuff out there all the time. Like right now, I'm like, wait, I'm waiting for this thing to go on. I bet this thing's about to go on sale, the whole Gene Keys thing. Right? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. And then you wait to respond. You put it out, and now I'm waiting to respond by buying it. Mm-hmm. So, and now I'm wondering, how fast will it go with 3 Moors that know how to use this.
Pretty quick.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's gonna get intense.
Yeah.
I think for us in general is like Moors, it's gonna be intense because I haven't really heard or seen, any Moors going that deep. Like they
Nope.
go into the
Nope.
esoteric aspect of astrology, but I've even seen and spoken to Moors that have said like, "Oh, I study the I Ching or I Ching specifically," or they study astrology, go esoteric, they go Babylonian or something ancient. But like the way that the dude put them together, like that's different. That's
Crazy.
different. And
Crazy.
and
Yeah.
like the other dude with the gene key thing,
Man,
I don't
I'm
even
like,
know.
what?
I don't
What?
even know.
And he just put this together. I'm like, okay, I'm willing to help you expand on this. I really am. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, this is like a new frontier. That's what's up.
I only want to
So
apply to us. As soon as I found it, I was like, "Oh, Morris need this." I was like, "This is
yes,
literally." I was
yes,
like, "This is what we need."
it's a
I was like,
path.
"This is what we
It
need."
looks like a path that
Absolutely.
needs to be walked. I'm like,
And
well, the gold part helps. So
And
yeah,
not only specifically for us, for Moors in general, but specifically for this triune little group, we have to look out, especially for each other, because we
absolutely,
spending a lot of time here together to make sure that the energy flows correctly. You know what I'm saying, and not be afraid to, challenge or undergird or encourage, go above and beyond, to make sure that, hey, still get your rest, because I think all of us are excitable people. You know what I'm saying? We still got to do it all in like in a way we don't, well, your energy level a little different, Zara. Yours is a little, you're on that espresso type, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying look to make sure that we look out for each other. I think it's important.
It's long.
Yeah, because it's a lot
Says
of
the Virgo moon.
yeah.
Watch out for your health.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Right. That's
You
what's
gotta
up.
make sure that we straight. You know what I'm saying? Because this stuff is like, it's one part of the psalmist in the scriptures talking about when God revealed something to him. He said, "These things are too wonderful for me. I can't put them in words." That's how it feels to me. Like that's how it feels. Like, yo, this is like some different. Cause you okay, astrology, yeah. This is all like that's a whole nother world. And then this is like a whole nother world. Then it's
Yeah.
a whole nother world. You know what I'm saying? And they're not tripping over each other. They're not in conflict with each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot. That's a lot on the brain. That's a lot. But it's good though. It's good. I don't know how we're gonna get this back to relationships. I don't know how this going.
It definitely relates to relationships.
Go ahead.
Like I was
absolutely
saying,
does.
like I'm like not just like intimate relationship, like business relationships, and what else? I don't know. Dealing with adversaries, diplomacy, that kind of
Okay, I
stuff,
got you. Okay,
right?
okay, there you go.
Because who is that? Ronald Reagan was known for being so good at all those conferences he used to have, and it's been out that he planned them on specific days based on who he was going to be talking to, right?
Oh,
And it was always something related to Libra,
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. So I'm looking at this thing. That's why I was like, nope, I'm going through and I'm looking to see how everybody connects, and yeah, I'm like, okay, like with yeah, I wish I could bring yours up. I'm not gonna put it who this is. Actually, yes, I am. I'm gonna put up my daughter, right? She's 5. And she's a projector, right? And I'm so glad that I found this when she was 5. Because first thing I found when I Googled it was an article about how they become so desperate to initiate stuff, trying to prove themselves because of how they were treated in their childhood. I haven't done anything to her, and I hadn't intended on doing anything like this to her. But I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad I found this when I did, you know. And then I'm looking at how our church operate, you know. And she's always sitting next to me trying to be like, you should do this, you should do that. And some of her ideas are pretty good. She's only 5. And then I'm looking at this thing like, oh, okay, you know. And she's always up under me and says, I just like hanging around you. I just like being around you. And my other children, it's like, well, they, you know, they didn't like sitting under me like that because I always had something for them to do, you know. And I look at hers, it's like everywhere, her, what are these? I don't know, the little boxes, the centers. Everywhere that hers are empty, mine are full.
Wow.
Or defined. All of hers are open. Where hers are open, mine are defined. And where mine, actually all of hers are open, except for the 2 where mine are open. So she's always giving me like, it's like she helps me get my ideas together. I mean, I guess I thought it was just like, okay, she's a double Leo, you know.
Wow.
Lord
So
Jesus.
I like the grounding. She definitely grounds the whole family, right? It's crazy. So I thought that's what it was. And I guess I'm like, well, look at that. It goes deeper. I knew it did, but I couldn't really, you know, pinpoint it. I see it. I knew it. It's like, well, yeah. It's the whole the Leo thing, you know, it's fixed. Our son, we both have the same moon. She has her sun in Leo, and I have my Saturn in Leo, and they're all like right next to each other. And I'm like, yeah, I see that, you know, the whole parental aspect of it, but it's just like, nah, I don't think I'm supposed to be getting you know, what is that? I guess profitable ideas from a 5-year-old, you know. And sure enough, you know, it's right there. So yeah.
That's what's
I
up.
like it. And that's a relationship, seeing how our stuff working together. You know,
Facts.
definitely.
Okay, so what's the number y'all was talking about on the human design? You said it's
What do
a
you mean?
number. I was like, he's a 61. Was that human design?
Yeah. On the body graph chart.
The body graph chart. Okay.
Yeah, it's what is this? It's from the head center, right?
The head
And
center.
yeah, you can see like it's 3 numbers up there, 64, 61, and 63.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
he
got.
said he has the 61 gate is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mine is the same thing. Is that?
That's what's up.
You got
Hey,
the
what color is
61.
yours?
All of those are everything is there is white. It's like it's clear.
Oh, then you don't have no, it would be filled in. Like you see a color, either red or black or red and black. If it's what is that? Okay. So if it's a gate, it'll only be partially filled.
I got you.
And then if it's a channel, the whole thing will be filled. Like it'll be 2 numbers will be connected through a filled in channel. And if there's nothing there, it's not connected at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Because I had a 61 there, but there's nothing coming out of it, you know. But right across, there's the 24. You know.
I got a 16 and a 48. I don't know, but that's going down. That's not like at the head at all. Okay, all right. So that's something totally different.
You had the whole thing, the channel of wavelength.
You said is the whole thing connected, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's half black, half brownish, like color.
Okay.
Brownish, tannish.
Red. Oh, mine is red.
No, it's
Hey, that's
brown.
what's up. So you gotta what is that? See, yeah, this thing, the design of talent. Like, okay, I need to look that up. If it's what it sounds like, that's dope. But I don't want to assume anything. So yeah.
Yeah. But I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Learning how to work the machine. I guess we really are ghosts in the machine, huh?
Yes. Yes.
For real.
Wow. I never thought to search these gates.
You never thought to look at the gates?
Nope.
All right, there's another site because I've been looking at them. Let me bring up the name, and then I want to get on that other topic I wanted to discuss about the what is that? The keepers of virtue versus the lusty Moor. All right. What is human design? Des. I guess it's Hume Des. HUMD as in David. ES.info. HumeDes.info. And that one has the types, the profiles, the centers, the channels, and the gates all broken down. So yeah. The
Thank
site is
you.
not well designed, but the information is pretty good.
Okay, say it again. Say it again.
HumeDes.info. HUMD as in David. ES.info.
Dot
Yeah.
info.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's got it at the top, the types, the profiles, centers, channels, gates. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm for real. After I got off the chat with y'all last week, I was like, let me just look at it. Yeah, look where I wound up. For real. I went in.
The okay, I see.
So yep.
Yeah, this is a
Oh
good
yeah, this is
site.
perfect. This is perfect because all of this stuff, like if people could look at their design along with the astrology, it's just one way to study yourself. Maybe they would well, I don't even care about what maybe, because I could make 1,000 guesses and not even be close. I want to ask you, brothers, a question, segueing into the next topic. What do you think about Moorish women walking around uncovered? I'm asking because of that ad that I sent you. I'm not gonna mention any names or call anybody out for no other reason than I don't want anybody else going and ogling his sister, right? And I was just wondering. It's like, well, what do Moorish men who purport, to be fine, upstanding examples of Moorish men, what do y'all think about a sister who proclaims to be a Moor, walking around in booty shorts and crop tops in front of the whole world, specifically the gram? So yeah.
I mean, I'll be direct and say I don't know. I don't rock with it at all. I don't condone it. I don't agree. I I was going to send y'all a video right before we got on because I ended up seeing a video with a young woman that was actually talking about this subject, and you know, she mentioned it like how it's making them all, one of them can't speak for all of them, but she was just like, yo, like y'all got us looking crazy out here, and it was like, wow, they, you know, even amongst themselves, they're aware, and you know, I just I don't know. I have a mom, I have sisters and aunts, nieces, you know, and I one thing that I've learned is that I I can influence anyone, right?
There you go. There you
I
go.
can have an opinion,
Hmm.
and pick your battle says better to keep them to yourself mostly. But it's just I don't know. It's just wild. I don't support it. I could say that publicly though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
I want.
thank you for
Yeah.
contributing that. Abir, please.
Absolutely.
Um. I remember when I first started going to the classes in Delaware, the Taj used to speak, and the Raspberry Bass with us sometimes, and I just saw a lot of Moors, and they always say, you were Moor when you came out your mother's womb. You were born a Moor, like that's what you were, and I never forgot that. Like you can't get out of it. Like you can't do anything to yourself to not be it. You see what I'm saying? You could be a bad representative of it, but you can't unbe what you are. You follow what I'm saying? And this is another thing I learned in my chart. I hate I just have a disdain for cookie cutter things that you try to make everything look like. You take the little cookie cutter thing and you just click it, 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 and all of us look like these click it, click it, click it. Because I don't see your personality. I don't see your self style in it. I just see like you trying to be something else. So would I like the sister? Would I want my wife to walk around like that? Absolutely not. I don't want her outside showing all her, what I'm saying, stuff to the world. Absolutely not. When that sister's walking down the street and she says, "This is how I want to dress as of right now," and you try to give her or shed some light, I don't even know if you can you even do that? Can you even say put some clothes on in this culture? Because a man can't really say anything to a woman now, to be honest. I'm pretty sure Brother Sarush may be able to piggyback on what I'm saying. It's like we have to be very delicate on what we say because it's so you're trying to
Can't
tell us what to do, put us back. Hey, hold on.
can't do it. Can't do
Yeah, you
All
know what I'm
right, then
saying? So,
allow me.
all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
For
it.
real. First of all, adding to our growing list of no-nos on the show, we no pork in the house. All right, we camelback.
All right, all
Right.
right, all right,
All
all right.
right. That aside, um, you're right. You can't tell them anything because they're savages. And it's unfortunate because a lot of them are calling themselves Moors. And I'm so glad that you said there's another sister who also like, you know what? This ain't cool because you're making us all look crazy. All right.
I've seen a
Let me
video.
give you a story. Um, some years back, I'm hanging out. All right. Hey, I'm hanging out with the monster I'm involved with at the time, his mom, right? His mom loves me, and she's a Libra, so yeah, we're hanging out in her garage smoking weed, right? I'm smoking weed with his mom, and she's just like amazed, like, wow, this is so cool. I wish my daughter I could hang out with her like this, blah blah blah, and I'm really surprised, that you're in here. I'm like, why are you surprised? Because you're a Muslim, right? Because we're in Chicago. She like, you're Muslim, right? I'm like, yep, born, raised, grew up in the NOI. She was like, yeah, that's the part that gets me because I remember those people. She's like 2 years younger than my mother. So she's like, yeah, I remember y'all, marching around. The men had on the bow ties and the women, they had the handmade dresses on, and they were just so unapproachable. We just couldn't bring ourselves to speak to them. She
Mm,
okay, who she was.
she was cool. She grew up across the street from one of the largest Catholic churches in Chicago, Black Catholic Church, specifically Black Catholic Church in Chicago. And her family had been in the same house since before she was born. And she's now in her 60s, right? So she's like entrenched in this, she was born and taken to that house. All right. And she was still, I'm sitting in the garage of this house, right? So she's like, obviously not that adherent to her faith because she's sitting in the garage with me, right? And I can't speak either. But yes, I can, because I'm like, yeah, you know, don't be thinking they were that holy because you didn't see what went on in the basement, right? All that kind of stuff. But they were smart enough to keep it either in their homes or at least out of the street, right? But the thing she was like, yeah, and look at you now, you know, it's just weird sitting you here and you sitting here with a turban on, you got all these long clothes on and all this stuff. It's just kind of weird. And but she's like, it's a little disconcerting because that's not the word she used, just because it was just like, I'm cool, but the look is throwing her off. See what I mean? Because of how I was presenting myself.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you cool, you know, you saying all the words of someone I can hang out with. You're doing the things of someone I can hang. I'm out here with you, not with my son, you know, who was also there, right? But it's because I mean, I had just gotten back from California, so they had given me some stuff, right? And so I looked extremely Moorish, right? But I kept it out the alley. I kept my business, my business. But that just always stuck out to me how she was like in her 20s. She remembered it. And I'm like, yep, that was around the time when I was walking around. You probably saw me in the parades and all that stuff. And she was just like, yeah, we couldn't even approach those people just because we didn't feel, I don't want to say she said worthy, but it was just like they were just too uppity. Not uppity though. You know what I mean? They were too respectable. We couldn't approach them like that. And it kind of reminded me of that scene in X when the Muslims were marching up and down the street, and how they were behaving when they got to the police station.
Yes.
Versus the Christians surrounding them and how they were behaving.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
And they presented a united front. You could tell they were together immediately.
Yes.
How? First of all, look at how they're presenting themselves. You know what I mean? That counts for a lot. It really does. And that's why I brought up the thing about being a social disinfectant, right? You can sell that kind of stuff, you know, booty shorts and crop tops with Moors written on it and all that stuff. That's fine. You don't have to model it. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, like, okay, I buy stuff off of Moslem sites, and they wear lingerie and all that stuff, but they lay it out on like a background and take a picture of it with nobody. Like, you've seen those, like, people selling t-shirts online. They don't have anybody in the t-shirt necessarily. That kind of thing. But you jumping up and down with your jiggly bits, I'm just like, this is appalling. It really is. Because we're supposed to be setting ourselves apart. We're supposed to be setting an example. And if you can't wear that in front of somebody else's grandmother, you know, you probably don't want to be wearing that out in public. I would say, would you wear that in front of your children? But a lot of them would. You know, would you wear that in front of your mama? A lot of them would. Okay, how about somebody else's grandmother that you don't know? Would you take that chance? All right. Or there's somebody you trying to impress. Would you wear that in front of their grandmother? That kind of thing. And it's like, I don't want to see it. And I'm so glad you said that, Abir, about how you wouldn't want your wife wearing nothing like that.
Nah.
Right?
Not at all.
So
You know
I'm not even saying at all ever, just in front of the whole world. You know, that kind of thing.
But I do but I do like her style, and it's different. Still different, you know what I'm saying, than, you know, when total Moorish garb or doing the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're decent and in order, I'm with that. I have a. And let me tell you, another thing had a lot to do when I was in the church too. When I was in the church, real quick, when I was in the church, whenever I would have to talk to somebody with my robe on, I will always get one person. Like you walk up to a person, they know you're a preacher. They be like, "Oh, yeah." So pray for me, Rev, because you know what I'm saying. I'm really going through, Rev. You know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna get back to church. I'm trying to do right, and I learned to despise that because I didn't want the fake person. I don't want the fake you, and I don't want you looking at me as if God has something in me that is much better that's in you. There's no difference. I'm not higher than you. You're not lower than me. You see what I'm saying? Based upon something that I have on my physical form. You know what I'm saying? The light comes from within us. But you don't have to, it's hard for young ladies, it seems, and men to get out of being show offy in
That
Aquarius.
word. Yep.
It's hard because you look at me. Look, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You come on, you know you
It's
want
sad.
me.
It's
You know you
sad.
want me.
Why are you that desperate for attention?
Right.
That's really
That's
sad.
Aquarius. That's Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? That's like, yeah, that's you want it. Everybody look at me. Or you know what I'm saying? It's the other side, it's the Leo side. So you want to make noise and be dressed a certain way. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're drawing that attention to yourself, and then you don't want to be labeled as that. You still got to respect me. I'm still a woman. I'm still this. I'm still that. So that's why when you asked the question, me and Sarush was acting like you was blowing like a great big ball of wind just got blown in our face because it's like, man, I don't want to.
No, I asked you because it's like women who wear makeup because they think guys like it, right? But
Yeah.
in my experience, most men don't like it because it gets in their mouth.
Hey, you for the kiss me, no, yeah, you don't kiss me, no
Right.
lip.
You know what I mean?
No
So it's
lipstick
just
on.
like if that's why you're doing it wrong because these men are saying they don't like that. That's why I'm asking you. I'm not trying to set you up. I'm not trying to
No, I
judge
didn't
nobody.
take,
I'm
it
trying to
wasn't
be
like
like,
that.
look, we actually have, you claim to be a Moor, right? You
Yes.
say that you respect and I'm talking to these people. You
Right.
respect and follow the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. Even if you don't, you want to be a Moor, and you want to like get the benefits of being a Moor, so quote unquote, right? And part of doing that is by honoring your foremothers and forefathers. And they didn't walk around like that, right? I know that there were certain enclaves or whatever they were doing. Whatever. That wasn't us. I'm talking about the ones over here. Me and my son were just talking about this today about how they always putting out the ones that lived on the prairie, right? The ones that lived in teepees and hunted buffalo and all that stuff didn't grow anything. They don't talk about the ones that had cities, right? Wore fine linen, draped in silks. Like a lot of those portraits that they show of the Moors, those were from over here, right?
Yeah.
And they never, and they the ones drew these pictures, right? So I'm like, okay, if we want to reap the benefits of being Moors, how about we go back to the last thing that was working for us? And there's actually records of it. You can find them, right? And I'm not saying that there weren't some women like they were walking around naked and all this stuff. And these were the ones that were in the cities called backwards. Just like you had Timbuktu, right? With the libraries and the universities. And then you had the Maasai, right? Same continent. I'm not saying they're identical people, but because Africa's huge, right?
Yes.
But you had the I want to say the cultivated quote unquote Africans, and then you had the so-called primitive Africans, and primitive is not a bad word, you know. You went back to the prime, you know, where you started from,
Absolutely.
right? So you living out there wearing skins and all this other stuff. I'm over here weaving cloth, right? That's who we were over here, right? At least I'm gonna say most of us were. The ones that set this thing up, that's who we were. And we weren't, our women weren't walking around like that, right? And then I guess you can do what you feel like, you know, but be ready to be treated like everybody else too. And if you're okay with that, hey, go ahead.
And that's it.
Because I mean, just look at the difference. I'm gonna use Chinese. I love using Chinese people as an example, right? You know how, or most people have a pretty good idea of how Chinese people expect their women to dress if they expect to be respected by their own people, not even the other outsiders. Who cares what they think? Can you imagine how would those Chinese people, based just on what you think you know about them, if one of their women was in crop top and booty shorts jumping up and down in the camera? You think her parents would be proud of that? Would her neighbors be okay with that? Not that I'm not saying that, oh, we shouldn't care. Well, yeah, if you want unity, you should care what the people around you think.
We're gonna get back there. We're gonna get back there.
But that's my point. It's just like, no, they have standards, and that's not okay among those people. She can do what she wants to, but if something happens, it's going to be a lot harder to reap the benefits of that unity, because she's out there making her people look crazy. All right. And we actually do have instructions that were left for us, right? If you wouldn't mind. If anybody wants anything to say anything, I want to read them out real quick. Because I'm like, maybe folks just don't know. You know. So
instructions are good.
Yeah, if you just out here being like everybody else.
Aquarius is a different type of age, though.
I understand that.
Yeah, the mentality of the people. You know what I'm saying? It's different. I'm not telling you anything. You know that the mentalities are different, and anything you try to impose on somebody, they immediately the rebel immediately in the question. Wait, hold on. Why you gonna try to tell me how to do? That's the soul. That's the soul. And the universe cracks them anyway. The universe gonna crack you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like whether I say it or not, you're gonna get the lesson. You're going to get it. Like I'm just trying to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? You may want to try it this way, but you can do what you want.
That's it. You know I ain't trying to impose on nobody.
Right.
It's just like maybe you don't know. We actually do have a means to address this situation instead of you're just repackaging black. That's what it looked like to me.
Yes.
And me personally, I don't like that. I don't want to be associated with anything black, because that seems to get a lot of people in a lot of places they don't want to be. All right. So yeah, I'm just saying, I just don't want to be mistaken. And that's fine if you want to be, but for the interested who are like, well, do we have anything that was left for us? Any options? You do what you want. But you can't say that, well, we don't have nothing. Yes, we do. Right? We sure do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If I may. When you were you proclaimed, I like to say that, declared more when you was talking with the mother that day?
Yes, I was. Because that's natural.
Okay, now
it was some stuff she grew, you know. I think she grew out.
Now follow me.
Nope.
I'm not. This is not chastisement at all. I don't want you to even think at all.
And I went in my room and kept it to myself. I didn't just put it on display for the world.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so, but for her, she was like, "Yo, I never would have thought I could build with you like this because you was one of them." You know what I'm saying? But you really, that was like, y'all were light. Like she understood, you understood her, she understood you. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't even have the same relationship with her own kids like that. But
right. Only difference between us was that I was a Moor. That's what changed.
What
I'm still me, right?
Was she
that comes with certain things, you know, huh?
But I'm saying, was she Aboriginal? Was she Asiatic?
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
was undeclared. She was undeclared. She's a Moor, but she's undeclared.
Yeah. Black
She's,
woman. Yeah.
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So to me, I'm saying you are what you are. You can't go back into your mom and change that. You are what you are. You are more now, or whether you undeclare how well you representing that. Now we have an issue now because as a nation we trying to rise and like Farrakhan said one day, a man is. He said a man can't build the nation staring at your hind parts all day. It's just the truth.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. And that is exactly right. We are a distraction. I mean, my goodness, even our hair. Our hair. I mean, I was sitting on the bus. This was back before I was, I was in my wilder days. I'm gonna do my thing. I was in college, whatever. I'm not gonna even cover my hair anymore. And I'm sitting on the bus, dreads out, and some dude approaches me. He's just staring at my hair. And even though my hair was out, the rest of me was covered. Mm-hmm. And I just found that interesting. Like, dang, that was enough for him to approach me anyway, just because my hair was out, right? Yeah. Whereas before I got to college, my hair was always covered. I didn't have that issue. Everything was covered. And I'm just like, and he was just like, yeah, I love your hair, because it makes you look patient, blah, 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 blah. I just wanted to say something, blah, blah, blah. And I just was kind of taken aback because guys didn't usually, strangers didn't just come up to me on the bus and start talking to me like that, right? And, then I started wearing a hat. Didn't have that problem anymore. So it's just like, and your hair does that. Your hair has that effect on men. And you know it, which is why y'all do your hair.
Okay,
right?
So
I'm just like, your butt, your breasts, what you think that's going to do? We ain't getting nothing done. And
okay,
it's kind of your fault.
But I don't want him to get nothing done, though. I don't want him to get nothing done. I want him to pay attention to me. So I'm not going to get myself in trouble, but it's prominent. It's prominent for
that's all you got?
Feminine
that's the best you got?
To want that attention.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get attention no other way. That's sad. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't that raggedy.
I saw a guy on the
but I keep myself covered. Boy, if I please, I don't want to brag, but I could. That kind of thing. But it's just like I have other ways to get people's attention. How about let's have a conversation? Make you don't fall in love.
Zara,
what's up?
Listen to me. Zara, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I saw a guy on the plane yesterday, on a picture on the plane. He was sitting in the middle seat. It was two black women sitting next to him. You know what they was doing? They had their elbows in the seat where their butt should have been. And they were sitting, they were like down on their knees. You know what? Because they was on their way back from Miami from getting butt shots.
Oh my God. Oh.
You haven't heard that? Now, how many people have to get? That's how they have to
invest in.
Wow.
Now that's
an investment. They have to sit on the plane like that after they have.
Wow.
That's how prominent that is now. So they're paying thousands of dollars to get your attention.
And who is that working on? That's fine. Y'all, please. I'm glad they're doing that. Please distract whoever's attracted to that. Please. All right. Help out the angel. Because I always wondered, like, why is it all of these good guys keep ending up, please excuse my language, with these bitches, right? Why do good women end up with, excuse my language, fuck boys? Why can't the good men find the good women? That just blows my mind. It's like they're out there. They keep saying they can't find no good men and good women. They keep telling folks how they keep getting taken advantage of. And I'm just like, how is it that these horrible people are finding all these good people? So my thing is set yourself apart. Right? What else can you do? Do something that won't attract that person. Right?
Right.
Look for a woman with some clothes on. There's a start. Right? I don't care if she is calling herself a Moor. Her mind is not in the right place. It's not, because she's trying. That's not what we're supposed to be doing.
right? You're supposed to be helping him, like, look at some books, not look at you. You know, I don't put my pictures online, you know, because I think it's distracting. I would rather show you my talents than my face, you know, because that'll last a lot longer, for real.
Is it your job to get your sister together, or is it our job to do it?
Mine.
Okay.
Mine. And I'm just gonna ask my brother some questions, right? Because I really wonder if it's just a miscommunication thing. I'm doing what I think you like. I can't stand when people do that stuff to me all the time. They give me stuff that they think I want. Why didn't you just ask me? Right? It's offensive. It's like you don't respect my opinion. So let me ask the brothers, right? Do y'all like that? I don't think it's appropriate, but I'm not the one they're trying to attract. So let me ask some brothers who, if you're a Moorish woman, you probably want to be with a Moorish man. So let me ask some Moorish men, one single, one married, what they think about this. This is great, you know, and I appreciate y'all being honest. And be honest, right? Because I asked the question. And you married, so you ain't got nothing to lose, right? And Sarush don't care, right?
Stand up,
So if y'all wouldn't mind, I'm just saying, because as soon as she gets straight, everything's gonna fall in line, right? And maybe I'm being a little impatient, but it's like, well, I got y'all on the line, so let me make the most of it while I can, because I don't know how long this is gonna last. I don't anticipate anything. I just, cork it, right? I'm just gonna enjoy it, I love that saying, evolution, no expectations,
I mean, it makes sense, because I didn't see how we was gonna get back around to relationships 30 minutes ago, and somehow you did it. So I thank you. I didn't know how we
thank you.
Yeah, you did that.
Thank you.
But
it's in my design.
It's on y'all, though. I'm glad you said it's on y'all to teach the sisters how they should do that, because we can't say a thing right now. We can't. We have totally been muted out the conversation. We've been muted.
No, you haven't. We talked about this. You're right. There's nothing you can say. So what can you do? You have to show, right?
Yeah, we got standards.
Exactly. What did you pick? Right? Like, I'm married, and I wish my wife would wear something like that. Well, now that I know that, maybe my chances would be better if I cover up. I'm not trying to put nobody on blast. Well, for what? I don't want to see it. I really don't. And there's always children around me, even if they're not mine, and they look over my shoulder. I don't want them to see that, because that's none of their business, right? And again, we have standards. So I'm gonna go ahead real quick, read this passage from
right. Go ahead.
The Moslem Girls Training Guide, right? The Sisters Auxiliary is from the Divinely Prepared for the Sisters Auxiliary of the Moorish Science Temple of America, based on the original 1928 edition by Sister Augustus Bay of the Moorish Science Temple of America, under the supervision of Noble Drew Ali. Because he knew what needed to be done, he knew he couldn't be the one to say it, though, so he helped her write it, and she wrote it in conjunction with her husband, right? Okay, so it says how to dress. This is a warning to the Sister Auxiliary to adopt Moorish dress and hairstyle, and to seek to marry a traditional Moorish brother. No style of dress is to be worn but the style of the real Moorish people. This is the way we dress. The headpiece of the traditional and tribal Moorish people are best for the believers of Islamism. If you are not satisfied with your own free national styles, then you are a slave to sin. And the chapters quoted are Matthew 26, verse 42, and the Holy Quran with a Q, Surah 7, Ayah 27, and to study the Book of Ruth. Okay, it says the robe of the righteous is white. We wear Moorish slippers, and we never wear out our shoes. Busted backs. We never go out of our homes without the proper head covering. We may wear a natural braided hairstyle and locks/dreadlocks only. No perms, presses, or dyes. We strive always to be ourselves and practice our national and divine creed. We should not wear more than 3 colors at a time. We wear conservative clothes. We wear all the colors of the rainbow. We always have our clothes neatly pressed and immaculately clean. Shoes must be shined and properly soled. Pocketbooks will be cleaned and shined with any papers in order. Our nails should be trimmed and clean. We do not wear hanging earrings outside the home. Our hair should be clean, combed, and well groomed. Our teeth should be given daily care in the form of brushing and biannual visits to a dentist. We make sure the day before we wear our garment that it is properly mended where mending is needed. We must have our garments tailored. It is undignified to wear a garment that does not fit or is made improperly. We must strive to look clean, neat, well pressed, and well tailored each and every day, not just on special occasions. When we appear in public, they, the public, do not look at us as merely as individuals. They see us as missionaries of the Prophet Drew Ali and the Moorish nation. You will hear them say daily, there is one of those Moorish sisters, the Prophet's followers. As Moorish sisters, we must give a good impression of Islamism and our leader and teacher whenever we leave our homes. We must remove spots and soil from our garments and regularly check our hemlines and necklines to ensure they are in good condition. That ain't even a lot. That's it. Questions, comments?
I can't say nothing about the respect, salute. Yeah, I can't.
Represent.
Yeah, that was written, you know what I'm saying, as a guide. I can't my front on that. I love that.
Yeah. Do not wear garments that don't fit. Baby
better
tees
than
count.
Cut off it's better than Daisy Dukes and whatever
Right.
else. Yeah.
That's fine at home, right? I'm not even saying that's not okay. All right. I own cuddle duds, but I don't wear that stuff in public. Have some pride. Don't you think you're precious? But again, I guess this ain't for everybody.
Sarouche, do you find that you can lock?
Yeah, he's going after Sarouche.
that in your mind you can lock a sister into a certain mindset, and you think that's what she is and nothing else?
Man. No.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Do you wanna elaborate a little more?
Want me to elaborate?
Yeah, you can.
Sister Zara said, excuse me, Sister Zara, for using personal reference. She said she got cuddle, whatever the thing she just said. I think she was trying to say cut off shorts. In my mind,
no, cuddle duds.
Whatever that is. Whatever that is.
Cuddle duds are they're like sleepwear, like tank tops and stuff. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't even wear a tank top in public. But that's just me.
I don't see you in my mind's eye like that. So I don't want to.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So if you do,
and I don't make it possible because I don't go out in public like that ever.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So for me, call me a bit idealistic. Maybe even some people say that may be juvenile, but I have a certain respect. When I see a woman respects herself, then I lock you in. Like, okay, well, she knows what she's supposed to do. So if she veers from it, something else going on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on like hands off the wheel. Like I'm that's why I said like early, like I just personally I could disagree, you know, and like you said, you don't you wouldn't want your significant other, to present herself like that. So, I agree with that, Um, like the sister Zara said, like where, she was in Chicago and it was pretty kind of regular, almost
Yeah.
normal. Like I spent a lot of time in Philly and it's the same, real big say I guess Muslim community
Yes,
and
absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
the women, it's a lot of women there that you don't have to ask them or tell them, but it's under that guise, of the dogma. So it's like if it wasn't for that, then they would be the other woman. You know what I mean? And that's
Mm-hmm.
what's
Mm-hmm.
so it's scary with that. But sometimes there are those women that truly find that presenting themselves that way you know, garners them, the results that they want. So that's who
Islam.
they are. So that's what they continue to do, and
Right.
It
you
goes
know,
both ways,
yeah. So
right?
like, it's kind of like when when we have standards as men, and be like, nah, like, because it's a thing of like how old are you as a man to be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you see that?
Cheeks.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how old are you? So it's like, you know, at some point, it's like, like that, what are you doing? Like, what time is it? Where you at? Like, I don't know, because look at how you presenting yourself, at some point, it's like we are reflections of each other, so it's like
Yes.
it's kind of
Yes.
like uh, you get what you put out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say like, what I'm saying, any other way, but like, it's like, we reflections of each other. So
And you have
Oh,
to
it's
you
worse
got to
than
kind of
that.
move on
Cause
off of that.
men,
You
y'all
got
better be careful because the reflection part, depending on what you pick, you looking at your daughter.
right,
I'm
true
just
indeed.
saying. I'm
that's
True
a
just
indeed.
saying.
fact.
So if you're okay with that, because
That's a
it is
fact.
women that do that, right? Making what are cold shoulder shirts with the exposed shoulders
Hmm.
in the toddler section.
Hmm.
Somebody's
Yeah.
buying that stuff, you know.
Scary, 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 scary stuff. I was talking
That's
about that
yeah.
for a
It
long
gets deep.
time.
Right.
That
Right.
It gets
target
deep.
stuff
And
is
it's based
scary.
on y'all accept, not y'all, but some man accepted a woman that dressed like that. So don't be
Mm-hmm.
surprised if how you think she gonna dress your daughter. She's going to do what she knows.
Mm.
So hey, that's why I was like, it goes both ways. How a woman is gonna dress a certain way to what is I'm not you what the bait is depending on the bait, that's what you catch, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Right,
It
right.
Okay.
goes
So,
both ways.
but
So
we
if
can't say that.
you all lusty,
Right.
with everything hanging out, you gonna get what you looking for. If you're covered up and all he can see is your eyes, basically, you gonna get what you looking for. You know. So
But you have to say that. We can't say that. We can't say that.
okay,
So
I'll put
just
out
That's
a
a
because
fact.
book
she just
for
because
That's a
real.
she's
fact.
halfway dressed does not mean that she is deserves to be right. Okay, we didn't say any of that. We're
Well,
not
he married a woman that ain't
advocates for
naked.
any of that.
You know,
You know what
he
I'm saying?
just told you what he looking for in a wife. Why you arguing? He's not even saying it. I'm telling you what he said. All right. So you can't
Thank you
say,
for
well,
giving
look
my
what I'm
back.
saying. No. Talk to me.
Thank you,
Talk to
Zara.
me.
Thank you for giving my back. Thank you, Zara. Thank
No problem.
Absolutely.
Hey,
you. Yeah.
that's what I'm here for.
Big, big
Cause this,
gratitude.
I'm tired of this stuff. Like, okay, Tesla just brought out an all-terrain vehicle, right,
Hmm.
for children.
Wow.
I was immediately infuriated because I'm like, oh, okay, so you're making all-terrain vehicles that cost a pretty penny for children, and I'm guessing you bought that based off of something you dug up off my land, and those children are riding across my land. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of seeing this stuff, right? How can we get this over with? I'm tired of it. And it's the sisters, right? Because I forgot who said that. I forgot who said it. They said the two most powerful people on earth are so-called white men and so-called black women, because neither one of them is really worried about the consequences of their actions, because they know they'll be okay.
Wow.
Right? Like, I mean, it's like, what's the worst you can do to a quote unquote black woman? Not put her in jail, because that's like sending her on vacation. It really is, you know. So, and it's like you've taken everything has been taken away from us, basically everything, and the whole nation is on our back. So you can't really. The worst thing you can do is maybe take away it's definitely take away our children, for real. I think that's got to be it, right? And then, of course, the so-called white man, he's holding everybody hostage, you know, in our name.
I think, Sister I think that's where Sister Bay came from. That's where those girls in the book in Random Highs came from. They had everybody in this book had this setting that was close to being appropriate, but wasn't appropriate. It wasn't how they came up. It was a rendition of it based upon hurts. And what I'm trying to just find something now, just to like, as a sedative. I'm trying to find something as a sedative. So I really don't want a husband. I just want a man to feel like I'm in a relationship. So I'm not going to really line all the way up. I want a hint of it. Just give me a splash of that right there so I can feel like it, but it's just a high. That's all it is. It's just a high.
Isn't that what men do? What? I mean, what?
Yes,
men and women are not that. We're not really that different, right? Maybe that's all she wants. Just like you got the what is that? The committed bachelor. There's female versions of that, you know.
But what I'm saying to you is this. That's why the engagement goes through the sister first, because the sister is the teacher of that. I can't come kick across the table and say you need to do this, this, and this for us to start looking at you this type of way. I can't do it. It has to be another sister to do that. I can't do that. I can't, because
I
as soon as
understand.
you start saying you need to, so you put it in the mouth of in a book and in the mouth of a character who could do that. But I'm
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I don't want the buck shots. I don't want the smoke. Let me say it that way. I don't want the smoke from it.
Well,
you know?
I'll take
and
that.
Not saying I can't take it. I'm a Leo. I don't back down. I'm just saying I'd rather not do the debate if I can slide around it. You know what you need to do to get yourself together. You know, after a minute, for a man who has a higher development and higher things to take care of, I'm tired of you every time I look at my Instagram shots of you popping around. After a minute, it gets irritating. It's like you don't do anything else at all.
Right.
That's irritating. I'm sorry. That's irritating to me as a man. After a minute, like all you do is this. On your page, all you do is this. What you know about that? That's old Goody Moor right there. Yeah. But that gets, you know, and I don't know if you clean just because you look a certain way. It's not a scratch and sniff picture. You may not even take care of yourself properly. You may not even know how to do that. You just think I'm going to look at your body and say, "Oh, you somebody I want to deal with." Why?
Well, I mean, don't give people too much credit. Maybe they don't know they need to get themselves together, right? I mean, I'm just looking at that that video I sent y'all, right? And I'm scrolling through my timeline of all the positive stuff that's up there, right? Like, oh, look, they having a food giveaway, 10 likes. Right. Oh, look at that. Some advice about how to deal with mental stress. 20 likes, right? Oh, look,
Okay.
this girl is dressing around she's half naked with more written across her butt and breast, and she's hopping up and down, 237 likes.
Is that real? Or you keep saying it? Is
It's
that
real.
real?
I sent it to you.
That's real.
I didn't see that. Okay, I didn't see it. Okay, I
I
think you.
sent
Okay,
it
my
to
bad.
you.
I haven't
I'm not
seen. I
saying
haven't
who they
seen
are
that.
because I'm not encouraged. It's like Moors. I can't stand, anybody who's listening to this. If you see
Yo,
a woman exposing herself, it does not help by sharing the picture and be like, "Look at this."
man. I mean,
Please stop doing that.
oh man, I didn't know that was real. I didn't know that was real. No, seriously, like,
Yeah, no, this was not an example. That's why I said I want to talk about this.
nah, take my stuff off then. Take my stuff off then. I mean, it's yours too, but I'm just saying, you're not. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
That's
Nah,
wild.
don't misrepresent like that. You know what I'm saying? If I play for the Redskins or the Washington football team, you're not gonna see me with a Washington football team jersey and pants, and then I got a Dallas Cowboy helmet on. Don't
It was just
misrepresent.
weird.
Golly.
And
Thank you.
it's
No, I
it's a
was
little.
not making this as an example. And I'm putting this out here because you got fence riders who think, oh, well, this good enough. No, it's not. It's not, right? And it's still going on. It's like the first time I saw something about like this was I think I sent it to you in the email. Was I don't know if you know, I ain't gonna call his name. It was a package seller. And the sister he was involved with, because I bought some fezzes, right? And I was trying
Okay.
to get into a little fez business, and I started selling them. And I'm like, well, I need to put some pictures online. Let me put some on. And I started putting them on and taking pictures of them. And of course, here comes the furor. You ain't supposed to be wearing no fez, blah, 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 blah. And then some other Moors, they was like, okay,
What?
yeah, we've been waiting, like you said, a sister to do it, because we couldn't tell a sister to do it, right? And I see this package seller, his girlfriend is wearing a fez. I'm like, that's wonderful. In a tube top mini dress. And I'm just like, this is wrong on so many levels. It really is. Not the fez. It wasn't even the fez, right?
It
was the tube top, a tube top, right? Mini dress. So I'm like, that's not cool, right? But he got exposed and they both went away, so it was no big deal. And now 20 years later, no, not 10 years later, whatever, I see this. I'm like, nah, let me just say something. Let me just put it out there, in case anybody thinks this is okay. It's not. It's not okay, right? It's not. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
we have standards, you want to be a wife, right? For real. Who? What's his name? I'm trying to remember the name. Moorish Society. Slice Gown.
I remember that.
Yeah, I wrote all that paperwork for him. So yeah.
I'm just saying the way that you point them out, you obviously they were some package sellers. That's why it's always funny when I hear that you say, well, they were some package sellers.
They still are. People still buying their stuff.
Oh man.
10 years later.
Hey, this show has been everything. The 11 shows.
Yeah, it was lit.
Man, we went through some degrees, right?
Right. I feel lifted.
Yes. We gotta come back again. We gotta come back to because we gotta talk. So the extra shows. Are you trying to say like we need to do an extra show during the week, or we just need a way to communicate?
Yes.
Okay, I'm with
both. So the extra show thing, because Sarush brought up the getting the prepping, right? And I'm like, no, this needs to be its own like separate discussion without any interjection of relationship stuff, right? Just to focus on just that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and that's just showing some respect, and it's gonna like attract people who are just into that, right? And then the chat, we actually start, me and Sarush, I guess that was our new moon ritual. You know, we I answered some questions on Facebook or Instagram or something, and next thing you know, we setting up a group on Telegram, and you know, we I didn't want to announce it just yet because I never used it before. We still figuring it out, just so that it'll be a place where people can talk about whatever, and then we can use the shows to actually talk about it, like voice wise, that kind of thing. So yeah, use the chat thing, the Telegram, to build the show, and then come here to actually do it. Yeah, because that whole food thing, oh boy, yeah. Because I'm trying to set up a 501c3, not as a temple. I think I discussed it with y'all before, but it was like the whole Catholic charity thing, but a Moorish version of it. You know, leaving the temple out of it, but the temple benefits from it. So all I needed was some Moors to work with, because I can't do this for myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I'm willing to do it, and I got all the stuff ready. I just needed some people to do it for. Oh yeah. And now here we go. Oh, did you see the new documentary on Netflix? Oh, I've been watching The Family too. Wow.
Why?
Huh? Yeah, I only got through 2 episodes, and I'm like, oh, let me pick this jaw up off the floor. I'm just like, this corporation is just so wicked. It's you think you know how wicked, or having a close idea. It's like, nope, I wasn't even close, man.
Okay, wait, what I missed? What did I miss? Did I miss something?
The Family, talking about how people are acting and being kept in positions of power despite their
We were supposed to be looking at
horrible actions, because they were chosen by God. Right?
Oh.
Manifest destiny, basically. They still doing it.
Oh, okay. We were supposed to be watching that. So I didn't remember. Okay.
Yeah. But there's another one too. It just got dropped about organizations in the United States that are trying to revive indigenous growing and dietary practices.
Wow.
So I thought that was timely. I think it just came out yesterday, right? And I already have a grant written about it, and I want to do something with it, right? And now I'm taking these classes on storytelling, right? It's like storytelling for freelancers. Like, okay, you don't just say, here, buy my stuff. No, let me tell you a story about my stuff. That kind of stuff thing. And I'm like, oh, this could easily translate into getting some grants for some stuff, for real.
Okay.
And, you know, not even grants, just like put proposals in. And because I think about how Noble Drew Ali got Unity Hall, right? It was donated to him, you know? So it's still there, which is also an issue I want to discuss at some point. So yeah.
Wait, well, we're with you.
Okay, cool. That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah.
But
yeah, you need to get on Telegram and look for Talk to Me Moorish. It's a group on Telegram. So, or you can search for
I joined both of them.
Zara Bay, Forever Zara, and Sarush. I think he's in it too. So yeah.
Okay.
And anybody can do that. Anybody who wants to join in, and you know, like, can you grow like anything, like animals, crops, whatever? You know how to dig holes? Let us know. That kind of stuff.
That's what's up.
So yeah. And on that note, anybody got anything else they want to cover before we close out?
Nah. Much love to both of y'all as always.
Ditto.
Much love to both of y'all. Great show.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this show. Like, I can't wait to talk to them about what I've learned. Because I mean, for real, I felt cold. It was so much. Like, I got to get this out of my head. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
This was great. Thank you, Sarush, for bringing that, for suggesting it too.
Yes.
And thank y'all for
Thank
sharing all the
y'all.
links. So yeah, we would definitely, and yeah, we can definitely build on this on there. Like I'll be sharing my links, all the stuff I find. Again, that's Talk to Me Moorish on Telegram. If y'all want to join in. All right. And on that note, thank you for joining us. This was Talk to Me Moorish with Sister Zara Bay, Brother Abir Kanai L, and Brother Sarush L. You can contact us by going to califamedia.com, 43rdbooks.com, that's 43rdbooks.com, and madebysarush.com. Have a safe and prosperous week, and we will see you on the next chat, number 12. Yeah. Right? I'm impressed with us.
Absolutely.
For real. All right, y'all. Y'all be cool. And I will, I know we'll be chatting throughout the week, so I'll catch up with y'all later.
Absolutely.
Right. Peace.
Peace.